Then, slowly, as if he were being drawn back into the world around him, he saw something new begin to appear. A wooden fence started forming around the Virgin, little by little, as though it were coming out of the light itself. Mary then raised her hand and pointed to one part of the fence. 3 of the boards were bent and broken. Just below them, lying in the grass, were a hammer and a few nails. Without stopping to think, Matusz stepped forward and picked up the hammer. He did not ask himself why. His hands simply moved, as if he were being led. One by one, he nailed the loose boards back into place and repaired the broken section of the fence. It was a simple task, but in that moment it felt full of meaning. When he turned back toward the Virgin, he saw a smile he would never forget. It was gentle and warm, filled with both kindness and approval. Then she slowly stretched out her hands toward him. In them was her rosary, shining as if it were made of something far beyond this world. Matusz understood what she wanted. She wanted him to pray it. But immediately he felt ashamed, because he did not know how. He had never learned the mysteries or the order of the prayers. He did not know how to follow the beads. Still, the Virgin said nothing. She simply turned her head and looked toward the same pine tree where Matusz had first knelt down to pray before the vision began. He followed her gaze and saw something astonishing beneath the tree. There was a large map on the ground, with no borders and no names, only the shapes of continents and seas. Beneath it was a dark rectangle, like a school blackboard, faintly glowing. It reminded him of the kind of board a teacher would use in a classroom. Matusz stepped closer and looked at the map more carefully. At first, he could not make sense of it. Then writing began to appear on the blackboard below, as if someone were writing in chalk right before his eyes. The meaning of the image was explained to him. Green stood for goodness, linked to mountains and high places. Yellow stood for evil, and it marked the low and flat lands. As soon as he finished reading those words, they disappeared. In their place, new phrases appeared with quiet force. Repent. Pray for priests and religious. Pray the rosary. Matusz barely had time to take in the message before the map itself began to change. The yellow regions, which stood for evil, started to spread. Slowly, like a stain spreading across paper, they began to swallow the green. It was as if he were watching the moral collapse of the world happen in front of him. Goodness was being pushed back. Darkness was moving forward. Then the writing on the blackboard changed again. This time the warning was even more direct. If people do not change, they will perish. As those words faded, new scenes appeared on the map. Terrible explosions broke out along the coastlines. Huge waves rushed over the land and swallowed the shores. He saw houses disappear and cities fall apart. It looked as though life itself was being swept away. Then the board showed another message, and the warning grew even stronger. If mankind does not change, there will be terrible conflicts, both personal and widespread, and people will perish in many different ways. But the vision was still not over. The earth seemed to tremble before him.